Welcome to another video podcast of our series educating Latino parents about best ways to help their students achieve an education. Today we have Cesarina Baez, which is a bilingual school counselor. As you may remember, I interviewed Vivian Oliva, also a bilingual school counselor, and this time with Cesarina we're going to go into some additional information on how to work with the school counselor in your school. Cesarina, thank you for being here. Wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
Let me begin with that question. What's the best way to work with the school counselor in your school if you are a Latino parent who wants to help your children achieve an education?
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying that as a parent, you are extremely important to your children's education.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of influence that you have in your children is immense. They really count on you on being there, and approaching a guidance counselor should be approached with that mentality, that it is your right. There is a law called the No Child Left Behind law, and it states that every parent has a right to know what's going on with the education of their children. And so approaching the counselor with that mentality, it's a good start. You know, go in with a positive frame of mind. I know sometimes we might be upset because something happening at the school you may not agree with. However, talking, communicating with the counselor is a good place to start. So step number one, obviously, contact the school, contact the counselor, and set up an appointment. Please get there on time. You know, our counselors are very busy. They have a heavy load of kids. And tell them your problem. Be specific. There is no need to make it bigger than what it is, the problem, or make it smaller than what it is. You are a concerned parent, so you go in there and you state specifically what the problem is. And then from there, the counselor, they have many resources. They have resources from A to Z, whether it's an educational issue, a social issue, family issues. They're full with information and resources. And even if they don't know the answer, they have ways of finding out the answer to helping with the problem, with the issue at hand.
Very good. Now, so when should a parent approach the school guidance or the school counselor? Should it be early in the school year? Should be only when there is a problem? Should be when they have ideas of how to improve their own children's performance? How do you see it?
Well, visiting the school is a must. The parents are part of that education. So from the beginning, making your presence known is very important. You want to make sure that the school, beginning with the counselor, the assistant principal, the teachers, that they know that you are a parent that is participating in your kids' education. So if they have an open night, open house, attend. If they have some type of multicultural activity, go ahead and attend. They have different activities that are held in school. I say, if by all means possible you can make it, go for it. Your presence is very important at the schools. And if you have a problem, it's very important to address it at the beginning. Don't wait until your child has gotten 3 Fs. Address the first F at the beginning. Don't let the problem continue to pile on and pile on, because what's going to happen is that you're not just going to have to deal with one problem. You're going to have to deal with more than that. Now, the example that I gave, if your child has one F, let's say it's the first report card period, it's easier to work on recuperating that one F than it is to wait until your child has 3 Fs. Then we're talking about recuperating credits, which can get very tricky because then we're going to have to go into credit recovery. It's just less of a headache to address the problem at the beginning. Feel free to contact your counselors. You're not bothering. That is their job. That's what they're there to do.
Help me now, help parents understand a little bit more of your work. For example, can you give us a couple of examples of problems that parents have with their children's education that were successfully addressed by the school counselor or the guidance counselor?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, you know, as a counselor, we deal with different issues from academics to socials to a whole lot. It's a big spectrum that we deal with. Some of my experiences range from dealing with individual issues, some of them obviously personal, some of them that can be addressed in a group setting matter. For example, I had 2 students that were constantly arguing, and the teacher tried different things and different sitting arrangements, and it just didn't work. So a group setting will be best fitted for this type of problem. So what we did was we brought in the kids with the problem. It's called mediation. And I brought them together, and a 3rd student, which was trained to do this, they were the mediator. So it gave the 2 students an opportunity to solve the problem in a safe place. That's one way. The other things that we might deal with, perhaps there is an issue at the house. It could be from not having enough clothes for your children. It could be having your electric shut off. I mean, it could be so many different things, and we work with so many resources that I worked with a parent that had, I think, 6 kids. Anyway, 6 kids. Okay. The problem was that their electric got shut off. And I worked together with a social worker and with the other resources that we have available, and we managed to get her electricity back on. So it's so many different resources that for parents not to utilize the counselors, it's really a disadvantage. So take advantage of all of the resources that are available right there in your kid's school.
Wonderful. Anything else that you would, as a school counselor, as a school guidance counselor, would like to say to parents regarding what school counselors and guidance counselors do?
Well, I would like to just say to parents, you know, always keep that positive attitude. Even when your child is failing, and even when your child is a little lazy and they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, always encourage them. Always maintain a positive attitude, because your attitude is gonna transport to them. So if you have a negative attitude about education, that is exactly the type of attitude your kids are going to have about education. So try to make it fun, try to do different activities even when you're playing outside or something. Talk about school, talk about your day, talk, communicate, and keep a positive attitude.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You heard it here. The school counselor, the guidance counselor is a resource. And as you heard from Cesarina, a resource that can help in a number or a wide variety of issues. And I think I heard her message loud and clear, which is use the resource. Connect with your school counselor, your guidance counselor. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.